Hey everyone, welcome back to Financial Futures. Today's video is going to be a little different. Listen, I want you to know something right off the bat. We are being lied to about the US economy. But I want to be clear, this isn't about me giving you advice today. My purpose here is simple: to inform you about the games that are being played and the nonsense that's being fed to us. You deserve to be aware of the real situation. So, in this video, I'm setting the foundation for future videos where I'll break down what the politicians and central bankers are really up to. Why? Because knowing this is going to help you position yourself to benefit from this situation, or at the very least, not fall behind. Alright, let's dive right into it. The Federal Reserve is out here saying, word for word, that the US economy is strong. Labor markets? Solid. Inflation? On its way back to 2%. Don't just take my word for it. Here's the clip from the NAB event just 2 days ago.
I do have some brief comments on the economy and monetary policy, and then I look forward to our discussion. Our economy is strong overall and has made significant progress over the past 2 years toward achieving our dual mandate goals of maximum employment and stable prices. Labor market conditions are solid, having cooled from their previously overheated state. Inflation has eased, and my FOMC colleagues and I have greater confidence that it is on a sustainable path back to 2%.
Our economy is strong overall and has made significant progress. Labor market conditions are solid. Inflation is on a sustainable path back to 2%. Okay, so there you have it. Strong economy, solid labor market, inflation on target. But let's not stop here. This next clip? It's the one that really got me. Did you know the government recently revised their consumer data? That's right, the numbers they'd been giving us were wrong. According to their revised data, Americans have been making more money and saving more than previously thought. Let me show you what they said.
It has looked as though consumers were spending more than their income. We see disposable personal income now being estimated up, and so that's no longer the case. Again, removing what we've been thinking of as a possible downside risk that the level of consumer spending might be unsustainable. So we look at that, and again, it looks, these were very large, healthy upward revisions to income. And
so we had, income was revised upward, spending was revised upward, but income was revised upward so much more so than spending that the savings rate came up.
That's right.
Even with greater spending.
Yeah, the savings rate too. So we think savings are now, there are more savings on people's balance sheet, and the savings rate is higher. So that speaks of more kind of background that suggests that spending can continue at a healthy level.
We see disposable personal income now being estimated up. Spending revised upward. Savings rate came up. Yep, you heard that right. Apparently, we're all richer than we thought. The income levels and savings data were revised higher. I can't make this stuff up. I'm not that creative. And it doesn't stop there. They also revised the GDP data upwards for Q2 of 2024, saying the economy was stronger than originally believed. Does this mean we're safe from a recession? Let's hear what Powell had to say. Ultimately, yes. GDP was revised upward, which gives us more confidence that we can avoid the worst outcomes. Now, about those interest rate cuts we've been hearing about. Powell says they're coming, but slowly. The Fed's not in a rush. They'll rely on the data to decide how fast to move. But what data? Employment and inflation reports. Let's see what he said about November.
GDP also was revised upward somewhat. And so when there's strength in the economy like that, does that give you some sort of sense, or more of a sense of security when you're seeing a cooling labor market, that maybe the worst outcomes won't happen if GDP is still that strong?
So the answer is ultimately yes. But the sense of the committee, this is not a committee that feels like it's in a hurry to cut rates quickly. It's a committee that wants to be guided. Ultimately, we will be guided by the incoming data. And if the economy slows more than we expect, then we can cut faster. If it slows less than we expect, we can cut slower, and that's really what's going to decide it. But I think from a base case standpoint, we're looking at it as a process that will play out over some time, not something that we need to go fast on. It's more, it'll depend on the data, the speed at which we actually go.
How are you thinking about the November meeting?
So a couple things. One, we have 2 employment reports and an inflation report coming in. So the main thing will be to look, when we get to that meeting, at the totality of the data, and we're looking at the activity data, the unemployment data, and the inflation data, and asking ourselves, is our policy stance in the place where it needs to be for us to best foster achievement of our goals? And I think we'll take everything into account, and we don't have that data yet. So that's the main. If the economy performs as expected, then that would mean 2 more cuts this year, a total of 50 more.
We have 2 employment reports and an inflation report coming. Based on that, we'll decide if our policy stance is where it needs to be. Okay, so here's the thing. If everything goes according to their plan, we're looking at 2 more rate cuts this year. But here's my problem: how are they basing all these decisions on data that's clearly been manipulated and revised? Everyone knows the books are cooked, the question is just how cooked are they? So I'll leave you with this: keep your eyes open, and don't just take these numbers at face value. I'll keep providing you with updates and information to help you make informed decisions. If you found this video useful, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe out there.